discussing Can You Sing? And to find out, we have Sue Seaton, who was vocal coach to Melena Mercury, Audrey Hepburn, all those kind of people, and she says anyone can sing. And we have Robert Merrill, who also says anyone can sing, but with his voice, right, he knows from not singing, kills me. I can't sing. I want to start right now. And when I say, like, some people say I can't sing, and then they sing. When I say I can't sing, I can't sing. Yesterday, I was sitting in the bathtub, my rubber duck got up and walked out. You know that feeling? That's, yes. When I sing the national anthem, people just sit down in big groups, you know? And I went to a vocal coach, because in New York, if you're in showbiz, you go to a vocal coach. And I sang, and I said to the vocal coach, you know, what do you think? And he said to me, stick with it, because there's a lot of money to be made in singing, which is true if you're a vocal coach, $20 an hour. But, I said, you know, I sang one of my better songs, Do Re Mi, and I said, can my voice be trained? And he said, yes, if you use a chair and a whip. Get it? My cousin Hubie is a lousy voice, and we admit it. You've heard me talk to my cousin Hubie. A mess. Last guy in Larchmont to go. His mother has a big sign, last guy before the thruway, and nobody cares. But he's such a bad singer. He is such a bad singer. At his bar mitzvah, they had to lip sync his speech, you know? Yes. He wanted to be like, whatever you always want to be what you're not, you know? And he wanted to be a singer, and he went out, and he became a singer, and his specialty was singing the wedding march backwards. He used to do this at divorces. It was quite Yes, then, yes. You don't believe me for a second, do you, Baltimore? Yes. Then he went out, and he got a chicken. He figured he'll get a singing chicken going in Sullivan show. But unfortunately, the audition, Mr. Sullivan said no, so Hubie did what anybody would do. He ate the act. And then he tried to get a ladybug. You talk about gimmicks. He got a ladybug to hum. Sounds right? You know how hard he had to work in his room, night after night, trading the ladybug to hum, and he couldn't get booked because everyone would listen to the act and go, humbug. As I said before, today we're going to be discussing Can You Sing, Can't You Sing? And we got with us one of the top theatrical vocal coaches, and I'm delighted to have you, Sue Seaton. Just a pleasure to have you on the air. And I don't know how many of you know about opera, but opera is always like the highest form to me because it combines like acting and singing, of course, and you know, like great dramatic strength. And every time you meet an opera star, you always kind of stand back. You have a feeling they're going to be just wild and very standoffish. And here is a man who is so wonderful and so darling and so cute, you forget that he's just a brilliant opera star, the star of the Metropolitan Opera, Mr. Robert Merrill. You don't do that to with my chips. So, it's a pleasure. Have you ever taken vocal lessons?
Have I ever taken vocal lessons? Yes. 27 years.
Why?
Why?
Because you sing.
Well, you have a natural voice. You're born with a natural voice, Joan, but you need a teacher to bring it out.
And how do you think the teachers can live if they don't have some pupils? They have to keep on singing.
Yeah, but a pupil like me, I can understand, but a pupil like Bob, I would think, you know, you wouldn't need this at all. What do you do with a coach? When your wife isn't there.
You say coach or couch?
Coach.
I'll tell you what I do with a coach. I've been studying, as I say, for over 25 years with Mr. Margolis, has been my teacher. I don't see him very often now, but when I feel, after I come off a tour, and Sue will bear me out, you get into bad singing habits, and it's wonderful to have a man, your teacher, to be able to go to him, and he recognizes the faults that you've gotten into. And that's why, thank the Lord, that I'm 24 seasons at the Metropolitan, and I'm still singing pretty good.
That's right, you should.
He whips the person back into shape, and that's one of the reasons for always keeping on singing.
Do you find it hard, Sue, when, like, someone like, all right, if I came to you, you could say to me, you're an idiot and your voice is placed wrong and all that. Now, if Bob comes to you, don't you find when you work with superstars that it's much more difficult to say to them, you're doing this wrong and that wrong?
No, because one of the hardest things in teaching is being honest. But if you're not honest, forget it.
Are there a lot of coaches that aren't honest?
Well, you're putting me on a spot.
Oh, go ahead.
But,
Who?
well, I don't know. I wouldn't say they weren't honest. I would say that they maybe don't have quite as much nerve to be honest.
No, honey, they're not knowledgeable.
That's true, too. But it's taken me a long time to really be honest. You know, when a student comes in for the first time and you feel that maybe they're not as talented as they think they are, and everybody, you know, a lot of the youngsters feel that they're going to be great stars. But you can recognize a star when they walk in. I mean, even at the first lesson, you can recognize that this person has something. I told you a long time ago, Joan.
To shut up. You told me I was flat and we hadn't started to sing yet. You know that hurts? Well, that's... who have you ever turned away? Have you turned away anybody?
Yeah, well, I didn't really turn her away, but several years ago, Peter Howard, a friend of mine who's conductor and coach, brought a little girl to me, and she was working in a show as a comedian, and she sang for me, and I said, you know, Barbara, I think that you have such a natural, wild quality that I don't think you should study. I'm really afraid that if we tame this, that you might lose something. But one day I'll show you what you're doing that happens to be right.
And who
I'll
was
just
the Barbara?
explain it to you.
Barbara Goldstein.
Barbara Goldstein. Look where she went on.
Funny girl.
Married Harry and has 14 kids. That's a Barbara Streisand?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Now, wouldn't you, but then how come if she has a natural voice, you say don't sing, don't take lessons, and yet Robert Merrill goes out and takes lessons?
Because Robert Merrill is in the highest form of singing. He's one of our foremost opera singers. I've enjoyed him so many times at the Met. I remember meeting him many years ago. May I tell this?
Don't tell how many years, darling.
And don't tell her where you met
I mean,
him.
listen, you can afford that. I can't.
I mean, there was no couch there, was there?
I heard of casting couches, but opera couches.
Oh,
they're
very
the
large
ones.
couches for
Of
opera.
course.
The ladies, go on. The ladies are getting smaller though in opera, aren't they?
No.
Well,
No, not getting smaller. They're
just
smarter.
Smarter dressed. They are getting thinner.
You don't
They
feel like
are.
getting thinner?
But their lungs are the same.
Yes.
Thank goodness. Is Raquel Welch an opera star?
I
Go
always
ahead.
felt that weight had nothing to do with being a good singer. I think years ago a lot of our singers felt that if they were fat, big, they'd have a bigger voice, but that has nothing to do with it.
Do you watch your
you
diet?
take some of the biggest, greatest singers. Well, look at this figure.
Yes, well, he looks great. That's why I'm asking him. Do you watch your weight?
Yes, I do. I don't like to overeat. I find that's true, Sue. I sing much better when I weigh less.
Really?
Yes.
But do you eat
Breathe.
before a performance?
You have more freedom for your breath.
Yes, you do.
Do you eat before a performance?
Yes, I eat about 4 hours before a performance, and I eat very little. I don't eat very much.
Kills me. I eat a lot when I make a joke, so I won't make a joke because I haven't eaten. Ha ha ha. So watch the commercial. We'll be right back. And yes, just watch the commercial. We're back talking with Robert Merrill and Sue Seaton, and we were talking before because we're going to sing a song later, which he didn't look at the lyrics yet. But you'll love it. You'll love it. I want to ask you, can an opera singer just go from opera to pop? Can you do both without changing your style?
Yes, Joan. You see, I started in pop. I sang pop music before I sang opera to pay for my operatic lessons. And there really isn't that much of a difference. And Sue will bear me out. If you know how to sing, if you're technically a good singer, you should not worry about your voice production. And that's the problem with a lot of our opera singers. They go out and sing, "When you come." You see, they're so concerned about their vibrations and their voice production, they forget the lyrics. I concentrate on the lyrics. I think that is the secret to singing pop songs well. And if you do that, you can.
And that's what's wrong with a lot of pop singers. They feel that they don't have to have a voice. But people that are trained well can do any type of singing.
But here we go again.
And it's also styling. He's absolutely right. It's the style. And in popular singing, you are more concerned with the lyrics than you are with the sound.
Yes, but you've still got to sing. Now, you say anyone...
Yes, well, it's better if you can sing.
Oh, yeah, sure, but you say anyone can... You could train anybody to sing.
I've trained some people that sounded like they might never sing.
Why are you looking at me now when you're saying this?
Well,
no, you can look at him, too. There are two of us up here. That's a direct...
Well, first of all,
They sure can hurt you on your own show.
Your speaking voice is very low.
Yes.
And I think you could include a little bit of a higher sound in it.
How would you give us... Could you raise him?
I wouldn't want to raise him.
To raise his voice?
So what would you do?
How would you do raise a sound?
Well,
if I came to you, you'd know who I was.
I'll show you, for instance, I can show you a little exercise.
All
It was my first exercise given to me by a very wonderful, great singer, Marcella Sembrick. You should know who she was.
Sang in the 1800s.
I was her youngest pupil, and
Too
she
late,
was
you
too
said
late.
You should never say that. Say her daughter.
She was a great singer, one of the great artists of our day.
Yes, she was. And one of the first exercises she gave me was this. Do you want to try it?
Sure, sure.
All right. I'm going to tell you.
Speak loud, because we have a mic.
I want you to do this tone to get some overtone into your head,
All right.
sounds, some head sounds, because you have a deep voice. So I don't use gimmicks when I teach. I don't. I wouldn't put a marble in my mouth. I'd be afraid I'd swallow it. But I do tell people to do maybe one or two little things with their hands.
Put them in your mouth.
If you do this exercise and pretend you're throwing a ball across a high fence, somehow the movement of throwing this ball, if you watch it, will throw your voice into the right place, which is in the mask of the face.
Do you ever do this?
Yes, I had a teacher once. My first teacher taught me with a bagel in my mouth. And he says, if you can sing through the hole, you got it made. I tried it. It didn't work with me because I put cream cheese on it. Go right ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Now, all right, do you want to try it?
Sure, but Robert, try it too first.
All right.
You want me to stand up?
Sure, stand up.
For instance, we'll do, what, do you want to give me a B or
We have someone on the piano today. It's a big-time show.
Oh, yes.
Shut. All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, 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 no. You try it.
You try it first.
You don't
You want me to say no, 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 and throw the ball?
Yeah.
No, you don't have to throw the ball. She does.
Bob Gibson tried it, became a great pitcher, but I'll try it. You want me to go what? You go anything.
You go. Oh, you embarrass me.
But what's the vowel, darling?
No.
No, 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 no. Now her chest tones will be magnificent.
Oh, we'll make that fun tonight.
I'm trying to figure out. So why should that work when you throw the coin? Well,
I didn't throw a coin.
I
was throwing
a ball.
Because psychologically, watching your hand go over sends the tone up into the mask of the face. That's where you sing.
Oh.
He
Right
sings
into
up
the
there to
mask of the
begin
face.
with. Then.
But what it also does is your body lifts up. Look at how he stands. You see, people
And I'm
wonder
standing
about
wrong?
awkward singers. They all walk down like, oh, posture is one of the most important
Honey,
things
I
in
don't
singing.
stand this way. The suit came with the...
But don't tell them. The posture is very important in singing,
Yes, it
too. The breath actually comes from the floor up. It's like a pump coming up and feeds into your... I got foot teeth.
I'm trying, too. That's so pathetic.
Now try it with your hand.
La. What is the word?
You have to throw the ball.
La, 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 la.
Well, that's fine. You got the high tone.
Give us another one, Sue. Can we sit down?
Sure.
Sit again. You want
now
something to eat? I feel so informal.
But a bagel without a hole.
There's another exercise that's very good for breath control and for projection of the tone. It's a simple one, and it's a coo exercise. And you sing, can I have a D? All right.
D.
Coo. Want to try it?
You'd go first. Usually they say this to me when I sing. That's coo, 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 coo. Coo, coo.
I'll tell you, there's a pigeon in my backyard that does pretty good.
That's true. What do you use to warm up with before you go on?
I vocalize on all the vowels.
What does that
We
mean?
do too.
E, ooh.
And you just go,
I do it for a half hour. Me, me, oh, ooh. Do that for half an hour, and if you're still sane.
do that for half an hour, you broke your lease.
Don't you do mostly me exercises?
Why should mostly me be done?
I wouldn't do mostly me, but he does.
Only conceited singers sing me. Me. Always me. No, you have to use
sing
both.
no.
And do most singers have like little gimmicks that they do, say in the Met, because you always hear stories like some people have sprayed their throat with honey. They're always little tricks. Or some people, I was out in a USO show, and the girl would fill up the bathroom with steam. You're trying, come on already. And she's in there breathing steam. And she was a dancer. I never could figure that out.
Being rough with the voice. I don't think you should pamper it. And fortunately, so far, I've never been a good advertisement for any throat doctor. I know a lot of them, and they're my good friends. But I think if you treat the voice right, you don't have to revert to any kind of gimmicks. You don't have to take honey before. Don't you agree with me?
Although I do use honey, same thing. Not so much for the voice as for energy.
For energy?
No,
Also,
I used some this morning.
Well,
just out of...
This morning, we were practicing. I showed Robert the song, Let's Go Do It. But you took tea with milk. Now, I always heard that milk is very bad. Would you explain why while we walk over to the smart piano section?
Milk.
Excuse me,
certain
darling.
things, sure. Certain things should
Men are
be.
so attracted to me.
Certain things are bad for the voice. Like milk thickens the chords, and
you sang with milk.
Yes,
he's
I think a great deal of it is mental. I really do.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
All right, let's
Now,
start
what
this.
if
We've got a song I picked between you and me. I feel it's very good. It's called It's the Lovely.
I haven't sung this since Aida, I hope I know it.
That's what got the lyrics. Go ahead.
Do you want me?
You start. Introduce the pianist, because he's your pianist.
Al Finelli. He's a wonderful accompanist. I've known him for
Accompanist.
I feel a sudden urge to sing the kind of ditty that invokes the spring. So control your desire to curse while I crucify the verse. I don't even know the song. This verse I've started seems to me the tin antithesis of melody. So to spare you all the pain, I'll skip the darn thing and sing the refrain. Me, re, 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 re. Do sol, mi, do, la, si. Now take it away, baby.
The night is young, the skies are clear. You wanna go walking, dear, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. A lot of personality. Understand the reason why. And if you're Santa Claus, so am I. It's lovely, it's delicious, it's lovely.
What's going on here?
My shirt.
So many out for 25 years and you give me duh to sing. I'm not going to walk out in Aida tomorrow night and walk out and sing duh.
How a guest can turn. All right, you
can tell at a glance what a swell night this is for romance. You can hear dear Mother Nature murmuring low.
let yourself go.
So please be sweet, my chickadee. And when I kiss you, just say to me, it's delicious, it's delectable, it's delirious, it's dilemma, it's delightful, it's lovely.
with Sue Seaton, who just said anybody could sing and looked at me this time, so ha-ha. And Robert Merrill, can I ask you, what do you think of these kids now that are going out and singing things like Star Spangled Banner, and they're not singing the notes, really?
Well, they really, and I think it's disgraceful. I think many pop singers sing the national anthem very well, but the ones that bother me is the kid that sang, the kid that sang at the World Series game. I mean, when you distort the melody, it kills me. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? You know, I didn't know whether to stand up or not. No, I think we should respect the national anthem.
I think so, too. And on that nice note of love the flag and love your country, I want to say I loved having you, Sue Seaton. Please come back, and we'll sing together. And Robert Merrill, you're just a joy. You hardly know you're a big star. You're so nice.
Jeanette MacDonald, thank you very much.
You've made my day.
Joanette MacDonald.
Joanette MacDonald. Shall we go off with Indian Love?
Boy, if I had a canoe, you and I in a canoe. Oh. When I fall, when I love you, I will answer to.
If you'd like to see the show when you're in New York, write Joan Rivers tickets, Box 850, Radio City Station, New York, 10019. Miss Rivers' guest stay at the Hotel Commodore while in New York.